What are the 10 scary things Sigma males fearlessly confront that leave everyone else paralyzed? The answer reveals a chilling truth. Fear may bind humanity, but Sigmas wield the blade that cuts those chains. Why Sigmas fear nothing isn't hyperbole. It's a manifesto written in the ink of unyielding self-mastery. Imagine the average person, a prisoner of unseen anxieties, their choices throttled by doubt, their potential suffocated by the what-ifs that haunt every decision. For them, fear isn't just an emotion, it's a dictator ruling from the shadows. Enter the Sigma male, a renegade who doesn't merely resist this tyranny. He burns a throne. While most cling to the warm lies of safety and sameness, Sigma stalk the frozen wilderness of uncertainty. They don't ignore the monsters under society's bed. They dissect them. This isn't invulnerability. It's immunity, forged in the fires of brutal introspection. Science confirms it. The human brain is wired to prioritize survival over greatness, to choose belonging over truth. Fear of rejection, evolution's trap, dread of the unknown, a relic from ancestors who huddled in caves. For the masses, these instincts are a life sentence. For Sigmas, they are punchline. This isn't machismo. It's a war against weakness. Where others beg for validation or crumble under the weight of judgment, Sigmas operate with the cold precision of a surgeon. They dismantle the need for applause, the addiction to comfort, the delusion of control. The average person sees failure as a tombstone. A Sigma carves it into a stepping stone. Society's terrors, solitude, risk, nonconformity, aren't threats to them. They're tools. So what are these 10 universal fears that Sigma males gut, skin, and hang on the walls of their psyche like trophies? This list isn't just a catalogue of dread. It's a blueprint for liberation. We're not talking reckless abandon, but a calculated revolt against the mental cages that keep most humans domesticated. Strap in. At the Sigma male community, we don't just study freedom, we live it. 1. The weight of extreme accountability. The Sigma male doesn't merely accept responsibility, he embraces it as his existential currency. While the masses drown in the narcotic comfort of victimhood, blaming fate or flawed systems, the Sigma dissects his failures with the precision of a coroner. Every shattered goal becomes a forensic study. Where did my strategy fracture? What assumptions turned to ash? He doesn't rage at the universe's indifference. He reverse engineers its chaos. This isn't masochism, it's mastery. Accountability, for him, is a scalpel that carves mediocrity from his bones. While others crumble under the weight of their own agency, he forges armor from it. 2. Destroying their past identity. Most cling to their histories like relics, a diploma, a faded relationship, a version of themselves that once felt invincible. The Sigma? He torches it all. Identity isn't sacred. It's a skin to shed. When the man he would becomes a cage, he detonates it, not in crisis, but in cold calculation. Picture a CEO walking from a corner office, a soldier discarding medals, a lover vanishing without a letter. The Sigma isn't running, he's evolving. Past selves are kindling for the fire that fuels his next incarnation. Sentimentality is for those afraid of the void. He knows creation demands destruction. 3. The inevitable reality of death. Death isn't a specter to the Sigma, it's his silent collaborator. While the herd distracts itself with trivialities, numbing the dread of mortality with Netflix and small talk, the Sigma lets death's whisper sharpen his focus. What legacy survives me? What truth will my last breath reveal? He doesn't chase immortality, he engineers meaning. Every risk, every no, every relentless yes is a middle finger to complacency. The Sigma doesn't cheat death, he outlives it through a life so fiercely lived, its echo outlasts his pulse. 4. The burden of knowing too much. The Sigma sees the world naked, stripped of its fairy tales. He knows most relationships are transactions, most loyalty is conditional, and most truths are collective delusions. This clarity isn't enlightenment, it's exile. He walks through life like a man who's read the last page of every book, unimpressed by plot twists, undeterred by villains. While others cling to their blindfolds, he stares into the abyss until it blinks. The price? Isolation. The reward? A mind that can't be gaslit, a will that can't be bribed. 5. Becoming a villain in someone else's story. The Sigma understands. To live authentically is to invite demonization. When he enforces boundaries, he is cruel. When he rejects manipulation, he's selfish. Let them cast him as the antagonist. Their narratives are not his prison. He refuses to shrink into palatability. While the crowd pleads for him to soften his edges, he sharpens them, not to wound, but to cut cleanly through the noise. His moral code isn't up for debate. It's etched in stone. Those who vilify him, footnotes in a story he's already finished writing. This isn't a checklist, it's a reckoning. The Sigma's path isn't for the half-committed or the faint of heart. It demands a war against every instinct to conform, to comfort, to capitulate. But for those willing to pay the price, it offers the only victory that matters, a life unchained. 6. The darkest depths of their own mind. Introspection isn't a pastime for the Sigma, it's a blood sport. He descends into his psyche's underworld, armed with nothing but brutal honesty. What he finds there would break most men: insecurities sharper than glass, desire that shame him, regrets that howl in the dark. But the Sigma doesn't flinch. He interrogates his shadows, not to repent, but to reclaim their power. Trauma becomes a textbook. Fear becomes a whetstone. By the time he resurfaces, he's forged an unshakable equilibrium, a mind that chaos can't penetrate. 7. Having no tribe to fall back on. The Sigma thrives in the wilderness of autonomy. Tribes? He's seen their fickleness, how they morph into cults, demanding conformity in exchange for false security. His loyalty is to sovereignty, not saviors. While others panic at the thought of standing alone, he builds empires in solitude. Connections are chosen, not inherited. He engages on his terms, exit without apology. The world calls it loneliness. He calls it freedom. 8. Cutting off loved ones without emotion. The Sigma's heart isn't cold, it's disciplined. He loves deeply but refuses to let loyalty become self-annihilation. When a relationship turns parasitic, whether family, friend, or lover, he severs it with a detachment of a surgeon. No tearful goodbyes, no guilt-stained justifications. He mourns in advance, grieves in private, and moves on. Emotional debt is a chain. He'd rather walk barefoot than drag its weight. 9. The brutal truth about themselves. The Sigma conduct a daily inquisition of his soul. Vanity? Cowardice? Hypocrisy? He prosecutes himself before life can. This isn't self-loathing, it's strategy. By confronting his flaws head-on, he neuters their power. Where others see brokenness, he sees blueprints. The Sigma isn't perfect, he's perpetually upgrading. 10. Being completely unlovable. The Sigma's love isn't a need, it's a choice. He doesn't fear abandonment, he's already rooted in self-sufficiency. If society deems him unlovable, so be it. His worth isn't a democracy. He'll be the outlier, the enigma, the man who needs no one's warmth to burn bright. Let them call him inhuman. He knows humanity's obsession with belonging is its greatest weakness. You just witnessed the raw blueprint of fearlessness, the Sigma male's code laid bare. If this hit like a gut punch of truth, smash that like button and let the algorithm know. Conformity has no power here. Share this with anyone drowning in society's excuses. They'll either wake up or look away, and either way, you've done them a service. Subscribe to the Sigma male community if you're done spectating and ready to wage war on mediocrity. This isn't self-help, it's self-liberation. One last thing, the Sigma path isn't a lifestyle. It's a rebellion. Every click of like, every share, every silent nod in the dark, that's you choosing to stop surviving and start dominating. Until next time, stay unbroken, stay sovereign, and never forget, the world fears a man who fears nothing.